I'm Max Pringle with these headlines. The U.S. launched airstrikes against Iranian-backed militia groups today after 3 U.S. service members were injured in a drone attack Monday in northern Iraq. An Iranian-backed militia group claimed credit for the attack. More from Donna Warder.
President Joe Biden ordered the retaliatory airstrikes on Iranian-backed militia groups after 3 U.S. service members were injured today in a drone attack on an airbase used by American troops in Erbil, Iraq. National Security Council spokesperson Adrian Watson says one of the U.S. troops suffered critical injuries. Iranian-backed militia claimed responsibility for the attack. Iraqi officials say 1 militant was killed and 18 others were injured in the U.S. response. Donna Warder, Washington.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has laid out his prerequisites for peace with Palestinians in Gaza. In an op-ed published in the Wall Street Journal on Christmas, Netanyahu said Hamas must be completely defeated, the Gaza Strip must be demilitarized, and Palestinian society must be de-radicalized. Netanyahu reiterated his position that the Palestinian Authority is not fit to govern Gaza once Hamas are defeated. The Biden administration disagrees with that position. The piece notably did not mention the release of the 129 hostages still being held in Gaza as a prerequisite, and made no mention of a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. On dismantling Hamas, Netanyahu wrote that its military capacity must be eliminated and its political rule over Gaza must end. He said the international community should blame Hamas's misrule for bringing on the current war and for using the population as human shields. He said a security zone around the perimeter of Gaza must be established and an inspection mechanism at the Gaza-Egypt border must be established, which meets Israeli security concerns about weapons smuggling. Netanyahu likened the disarmament and de-radicalization process as similar to what happened in Germany and Japan following World War II. A major blizzard fueling winter storm is sweeping across the plains and upper Midwest with heavy snow, freezing rain, and strong winds, making for dangerous travel conditions during the busy holiday week. The National Weather Service said blizzards with wind gusts up to 75 miles per hour today could topple trees and power lines and bring whiteout conditions that make travel difficult to near impossible. Blizzards happen when blowing snow and sustained strong winds combine for at least 3 hours and reduce visibility to a quarter mile or less. Parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, Colorado, and Wyoming are under blizzard warnings today. Residents were cautioned to avoid travel, but if they must be on the road to bring survival kits and stay in their vehicles in case they get stranded. China has been hit by several waves of extremely cold weather already this winter. The Chinese capital, Beijing, has experienced its coldest December since records began in 1951. Temperatures in the city have frequently fallen below -10 Celsius this month. It's part of a winter cold front striking much of Asia. More from FSN's Ishan Garg.
The winter season is taking its toll in Asia, with China recording its coldest December ever, and neighbor India's capital, New Delhi, waking up to a severe fog warning. In China, the temperature is falling below -10 degrees, and the country has already faced several spells of cold wave this year. A Beijing weather observatory recently recorded more than 300 hours of below freezing temperatures in just under 2 weeks, according to the state-backed China Daily News Agency. The cold has affected many provinces across the country. Schools in some areas have been forced to shut, and transport services are facing difficulties. Neighbor India is also facing similar problems, although not quite as severe. Due to heavy fog, hundreds of flights scheduled to arrive at the New Delhi airport have either been delayed or cancelled. The Delhi government has asked schools to shut down till January 6th. Just a week ago, the city recorded its coldest day of the year. Much of the city is witnessing temperature between 4 to 6 degrees. From Feature Story News in New Delhi, I am Ishan Garg.
A Russian naval ship in Crimea was damaged in an airstrike by Ukrainian forces. More from Karen Chamas.
Russia has said that Ukrainian forces have damaged one of its naval ships in Crimea. The landing ship was hit at a base in the city of Feodosia by plane-launched guided missiles, according to Russia's defense ministry. The ministry added that 2 Ukrainian fighter jets were destroyed by anti-aircraft fire during the attack. Over the past several months, Ukrainian forces have conducted attacks around Crimea, mostly with sea drones. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says the attacks helped to restore navigation in the Black Sea, which in turn would allow the export of millions of tons of grain. I'm Karen Chamas.
And I'm Max Pringle. You're listening to Sojourner Truth on Pacifica Radio.